Hello everyone! Here we are with another video of terrifying true stories that will make your blood freeze in your veins. So get ready because this is going to be one hell of a ride. Let's begin. No. 8. The Monster of the Lake. It all started back in 1976 when someone at a boatyard in Prince Edward Island saw something that would forever change their life. What they witnessed was a giant mysterious creature roaming around the docks during the night. At first it was just a rumor and people thought it was some kind of joke, bet. Then similar things began to happen. People heard screams from the lake at night, sounds that could only be made by an animal larger than a blue whale. A few fishermen even reported seeing the creature basking on the surface of the water, like a gigantic sea serpent. People have reported seeing the monster of the lake ever since. Many have even captured footage of it, but it's always too blurry or distorted to make out any details. Number 7. The Siren of New Jersey. In 2013, a very disturbing story appeared in the Atlantic City press. 3 teenagers were driving home late at night, when suddenly they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from the side of the road. They rolled down their window to try and identify the source of the sound. Then they saw her standing on the side of the road. She was about 6 feet tall with long black hair covering most of her face. Her eyes were completely white. And although she didn't speak, the teens swore that she mouthed the words, "I want to kill you." Of course, they drove off as fast as they could. This wasn't a one-off incident though. There have been numerous sightings of the Jersey Devil over the years. Most say it looks like a kangaroo with wings. But in recent years, witnesses have described her as more human-like. The most recent sighting was in 2019 when someone spotted her at the Cape May County Park and Zoo. Number 6. Beast of Bray Road. Between 1990 and 1996, Wisconsin was terrorized by a mysterious beast. People reported seeing a large wolf-like creature roaming through the woods. The police even got involved but couldn't find anything. Some believe the beast is actually a werewolf, while others think it's something more sinister. Some believe it's the same beast that's been terrorizing people for hundreds of years. It's known as the Beast of Bray Road. The name comes from a small town where the first sighting occurred. It was described as a large grey wolf-like creature with glowing red eyes. It seemed to be studying the residents of the town. Witnesses say it was almost human-like in its behavior. It walked on 2 legs and sometimes even stood up on its hind legs. It was also extremely strong, capable of dragging people into the woods with ease. No one knows what the beast is or where it came from, but many believe it's still out there lurking in the shadows. No. 5. The Beast of Exmoor. There have been many reports of strange creatures lurking in the woods of England, but none are more disturbing than the Beast of Exmoor. It's said to be a large hairy humanoid that lives in the woods near Exmoor National Park. There have been dozens of sightings over the years, but the most famous occurred in 1983 when 2 young women claimed they were attacked by the beast. They said it was about 7 feet tall, with long flowing hair and sharp claws. One of the women was scratched across the face, leaving a permanent scar. The police never caught the attacker, and no one knows what really happened. But some believe the women were telling the truth. After all, there have been plenty of other sightings of the Beast of Exmoor. Number 4. The Ghost Ship. On October 28, 2015, a group of ghost hunters were exploring an abandoned ship. When they heard a knock, they were exploring the RMS Republic, which had sunk over 100 years ago. It was a passenger liner that sank after colliding with another ship. Over 100 people lost their lives. Since then, the wreck has been abandoned and left to rot, but that hasn't stopped people from trying to explore it. The ghost hunters were using an underwater robot to explore the ship when they heard the knock. They tried to identify the source of the noise, but there was nothing there. They continued to hear the knocking for several minutes before they finally gave up and went home. Some believe the knocking was simply a trick of the wind, but others are convinced it was something more sinister. Perhaps it was the ghost of one of the passengers who perished on the ship all those years ago. No. 3. The Demon of Georgia. Back in 2006, a woman from Georgia was camping with her family when she was attacked by a mysterious creature. She was awoken in the middle of the night by the sound of someone scratching at her tent sheath. opened the tent to investigate and saw a pair of glowing red eyes staring back at her. Then the creature lunged at her, knocking her to the ground. She screamed for help, but no one came. The creature dragged her away, but she managed to free herself and run back to the tent. She told her family what had happened, but they didn't believe her. They thought she was just making it up. But the next morning they found scratches all over the tent. These weren't made by animals. Whatever had attacked the woman was strong enough to rip the tent to shreds. To this day, no one knows what attacked the woman. Some believe it was a wild animal. Others think it was something more sinister. Could it be the demon of Georgia? That's what locals call the creature that's said to roam the woods near Atlanta. No. 2. The stalker. A man was being stalked by an unknown person for weeks. He had no idea who it was, and he couldn't understand why they kept following him. Then one day he finally decided to do something about it. He set up a camera in his house and waited. To his surprise, the person who had been stalking him was his neighbor. But that wasn't the only thing that freaked him out. His neighbor was missing half of his face. He had no nose or mouth, and his eyes were completely black. The man was horrified. He had lived next to this person for months and had never noticed anything strange about them. He quickly installed a security system and boarded up his windows. But the stalker wasn't deterred. He kept coming back, even after the man moved away. The stalker followed him to his new house and continued to harass him. The man eventually went to the police, but they couldn't do anything. The stalker was never caught, and the man still lives in fear of what might happen to him next. Number 1. Alien autopsy. Is it possible for humans to survive an encounter with aliens? Well, if this story is true, the answer is probably not. Back in 1995, a group of scientists claimed they discovered the body of an alien that had crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, 2. They took the body to a secret facility for further study. But what they found was beyond their wildest imaginations. The autopsy revealed that the alien was about 4 feet tall, with large black eyes and a thin, wiry body. It didn't look like anything from this planet. But that wasn't the only thing that shocked the scientists. The alien's internal organs looked nothing like human organs. They were bright green and pulsating. And the creatures seemed to be able to regenerate body parts. The scientists were horrified. They realized they were dealing with a creature from another world, a world that was far more advanced than our own. They knew they had to keep the discovery a secret, or else the government would get involved. But one of the scientists leaked the story to the press, and soon the world knew about the alien autopsy. The government quickly denied the story, but that only made it seem more believable. To this day, no one knows what really happened. But if the story is true, it means that there are creatures out there that are far more advanced than us, and they revisiting our planet in secret. Alright, comment below which one was the most frightening. Also, remember to subscribe if you haven't yet. We publish these videos once a week and we can't wait for you to watch more.